Okay, so this is the first day of my video log. um, as I start a new chapter in my life and close a very hard one to close. So anyway, I had an emotionally abusive partner, and after 12 years of being with this man, I finally left. I'm just gonna story it up, tell you exactly events leading up to it, and as things come and emotions come and different feelings I experience, I'm gonna just try to share it. Hopefully other women will be able to see this and can just kind of be in this journey with me. So welcome. And if anybody else left it or is thinking about leaving it, you have no idea how strong you are. And you would be surprised at how much support you'll get. I was in a situation where I never told anybody. Family, friends, even they were a phone call away. He had that kind of control over me. A lot of diminishing my character and making me feel less of myself, so maybe I deserved it. And I didn't see the signs. I actually work as a social worker, dealing with the family court issues, TRO calendars, and I didn't realize it was happening to me. So basically the catalyst after 12 years was a specific incident. And I know that he wants to blame it on the incident, but truth of the matter was it was a problem from the beginning of the relationship. I think maybe this was because it was the first time I wasn't able to prove I was telling the truth. Tangible proof is huge for controlling partners. I had to, from the beginning of the relationship, I had to text him when I was leaving the house, text him when I got to work, text him when I got in the building, send pictures of the time clock so he knew I was actually at work, text him or call him from my office phone when I left work. I even allowed him to put a camera in the house, and I enabled it by saying, yeah, keep it in there for my safety. But he wasn't using it to make sure I was safe. He just was making sure he could keep a constant eye on me. But in this situation, I didn't have the proof of what he was accusing me of. And I didn't realize how much a person like that loses control when they have no control over the situation. Like the actual, how would you say it? Psychological effects it has on them when they can't control the situation. So he was able to create stories and timelines, and because I couldn't remember a significant time and recall it, he'd catch me on it and say, "You're lying, you're a liar. I just caught you." Basically, he started to have all of these paranoid thoughts, and he was believing in his own story. And basically, it was like, this is what happened, so just tell me the truth. He thought I had been cheating on him for years because of this one incident. Paranoid thoughts and dreams were coming in his head, and thinking that people were against him or working for me. And I mean, it got pretty crazy. He interrogated me for 45 days straight, just telling me I need to confess. He would take me on very long car trips, until I would either stop reacting in a certain way. If I was compliant, he would at least stop. But basically, he made up his mind. I cheated, and you just need to confess. And he used it on a spiritual level. Like, you need to get right with God. Very egotistical, very, I could see the narcissistic tendencies now. And he lost total control. And for the first time in my life, I felt like I was actually seeing the man that I had been with all this time. And I don't know for you other women if it, I was kind of I was in the boat where I had been so compliant and so empathetic the whole time. You know, like, no, reassuring, you're handsome, you're the one, I would never cheat on you, I love you, we have such a beautiful history. Hold his hand while he, kept the wall up. And my heart just started to get blacker and darker, and I became more resistant. And the more resistant I became, the more he tried to control the situation. Usually in the end, I would lose. I would give up because I was tired of fighting. But this time, I no. From my own, I don't know if it's egotistical or just to save my own self-worth and I know what my character is. I was very defiant. It was almost like he was codependent on making him feel good about himself, and I could no longer play that role. So there's a huge fight. He told me to take off my seatbelt while he drove 90 miles per hour, 45 minutes from home, and I sat down in the car, and I had this moment of revelation, that it's gonna get more dangerous. He's basically made up his mind. There's no way around this. If I just lie and said I did it, then I would be the bad character. I'm the one who needs help, and I'm the one willing to take you in. And I just couldn't do it. I sat in the car and I prayed to God. I prayed hard for God to help me out of this situation, and I had this feeling in my heart where I basically had to do whatever I had to do to get home. At least get to work. He can't get me from work. He forced me to have sex that night. I never knew I could be so disgusted with a man that I thought I loved for so long. But that was probably the first time I ever physically felt my body break down. And don't mind, I'm not crying now. The hysterical crying happened. I'm on day number 2. So that next morning, we got in the car. He was basically following me to work for the last month. He didn't work. He said, "You're a fucking liar. You're a fucking liar. You did it. You did it. You've been fucking him. So if you love me, you're gonna call him. You want to save this relationship, you're gonna call him." He said, you want to prove it to me? And I was just disgusted. One, knowing it wasn't true. Up until that point, he had a whole bunch of stories he was making up about the guy said that he did do it. So I was a little felt disgusted, if it was true, disgusted with this person. But I thought in my head that is entirely not okay. Not okay. Our relationship was riding on the fact of whether I called this so-called perpetrator or not. I resisted. He basically was like, I'm not taking you to work. So I had to pretend like, okay, babe, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna quit my job just for you. I love you. And I can't, girl, I can't tell you how much emotions was running in my head. Like, I've been saying I want to do this, but like, am I ready? Like, do I have to give him one more hug? Do I run? And it was like a flight or fight response. As soon as I got close enough to my workplace, mind you, he was trying to grab my wallet and my purse. I'm gonna keep your purse, your phone, everything, because you're gonna quit and come back to the car. I yanked my purse. I flung open that door before the car even stopped, and I ran for my fucking life. And I cannot tell you how the reaction my body had. If you've ever, you have those like moments where you kind of act up, kicking and screaming, pretend like you're breathing hard. But that was the first time I actually felt what trauma feels like, and my body just shut down. It was like basically my feet were just saying, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving. I got to my boss's office. I sat down on the floor and I started hyperventilating and had a mental breakdown. She reached out for my hand and she just sat down on that floor with me and told me, wait, what is going on? And I just said it. I'm in an abusive relationship and I need help. That's all it took. She told me, sit down on this floor, go through your emotions. I'm going to go grab the tear roll. I don't care what you say. Based on what you just told me, you are definitely with a dangerous person. And she took care of it all. She called my mom. And surprisingly, of course, my mom had been waiting for that call for 12 years. My mom came down, called my siblings. They got everything ready together. My sister was ready to focus on me emotionally, whatever I needed. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, I had this feeling in my heart, like, I feel so guilty for not saying anything. But like my family members told me, for us to try to force you out of there is not gonna work. We had to wait for you. And they knew I was a strong woman. Strong enough to stay with a man like that, but also strong enough to leave. Girls who have been in a long-term toxic relationship, it's because you are so strong. Is why you've been able to stay in that for so long. So you have the strength to leave just as much as you have the strength to stay. Mind me, I am 500 miles from home now. I bought a one-way ticket. My mom put me on the plane and told me to never look back. Signed over a power of attorney so she could take care of all my personal property, home. And here I am now. And I'm feeling a lot of different emotions. Anxiety at first, feeling like, where is he? They have no boundaries. They don't care about your boundaries at all. That's why they keep pressing and pressing and pressing until you come back. the sob stories, the threats, the I'm gonna kill myself, I'm gonna burn this house down, we're gonna die together, to I'm a different man, I'll change, I'm sorry, you make me this way. Oh, that was a big one. I'm only this way because of how you are. So the anxiety was huge. And then there's also that feeling of guilt. I love this man. I loved him for a long time. And it wasn't always bad. I mean, as long as we stuck to our regular routine, everything was fine for months, for years on end. But I definitely will keep you guys updated as I educate myself on what exactly, if those were actually happy moments or not. I need to kind of analyze that more, because right now I'm feeling unsafe. In my mind, he was the one that kept me safe, and for once in my life, I'm on my own. And it's scary. It is so scary. Trying not to call him is a huge one. As an empath, I'm concerned about his mental health. I'm still concerned of where he's at, emotionally and physically. But one thing I kept telling myself, and if you're in the same position I'm in, it is that you are not responsible for his happiness. That is not your job. Okay? You have to understand that. Luckily, I had a sister who definitely is educated in this stuff, so she helped. Anything you can do, I think no contact in the beginning is the best way to help you to self-heal. And it's tough. I have to keep a phone. You got access to your phone. Make sure you block his numbers or change your phone number if you have to. But you've got Google. And you can just literally put in, like, what are you feeling right now? Like, should I call him? Why do I miss him? Should I hate him? YouTube is a very good resource, so I hope you guys find mine and it kind of helps you. If you're in this stage of the whole process, like my sister told me, for every year you're with this person, it's gonna take 1 week of recovery. 12 years, that's 12 weeks. So I'm sure I'm gonna be a ball of tears one day. I'm gonna be strong another. I'm gonna be anxiety driven on another. But we are gonna go through this together. And I'm so happy that you're gonna come and join me on my journey. Please like and subscribe so we can get the word out there. Any support that I can give you or you can give me, I will be more than happy. And as I say in my culture, malama pono, that means take care of yourself. And I will see you all tomorrow.